Laura B with Craft and See with Laura B, which just is, I really need to rethink that because, yeah, I feel like I'm repeating myself. It's Laura B at Laura B with Craft and See. It's Laura, I don't know. I don't know, please forgive me. I'm a little bit delirious with the heat. Again, I apologize for the fan noise. I really sincerely hope it is not too loud. However, I do need to get some videos filmed, and it is 90 degrees outside, and my air conditioner crapped out in this room, which is probably a good thing because otherwise you'd hear that. But anyway, so I have to have the fans on. I do not tolerate heat well, as I said in my last video, and so yeah, I've got to have constant wind circulation. Actually, I have one fan, window fan, that is blowing the hot air out, and one fan that is circulating the room air around me. So anyway, so while I was gone, I filmed the first part of this morning, and then I stopped because I realized that video was already at 50 minutes and I've got a lot more to go. I wasn't even finished stamping my background papers. So that is what I did from then until now. I finished stamping and I cut them. I cut one page, and yes, I could have shown you what it looked like all together, but I didn't. I cut one at 1.5 inches and taped them with Scotch tape or cello tape. Excuse me. Why is it I never have to belch until I get on camera? It's not taped quite good enough for my liking. And then I cut the other one in 1-inch strips, and it's obviously considerably longer. There you go. So I'm actually liking how it turned out. I did not glue them in any particular order, just how they lay in the pile, and then I grabbed. So let me snip off a little bit of this tape that's still sticking out. You know, I'm of an age that I remember when magic tape, as they called it, Scotch magic tape, came out. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, or at least when it hit the West Coast. I should say that, because, you know, most things travel across the United States. So, in addition to this, I have my pile of old books. Actually, this one does not need to be there because I tore some off. I have the labels. I found the rest of them. Duh, they were just right up here on the shelf that I had stamped months ago. Grunged and stamped. I have these that I was practicing my embossing on. Jamie from Love You More Journals and I were talking about how to know which side is up. So I practiced, and I loved how crackly and just falling apart this page is. So we're using that. I have the Here We Come Round the Mulberry Bush paper. I have no idea if that's what it's from, but that's what I'm missing. I still have these, should I choose to grunge them up and use them. I don't know yet. And okay, there's that. I have my Tracy Fox labels that I've cut out. I've got some random, I do not remember where I got these from, but they're printables, and I fussy cut them a long time ago. I know, and it keeps coming. These I must have gotten from Your Creative Studios at one time. Excuse me. Ugh, getting a little sleepy, a little warm. And what else do I have? Oh, I have, if you remember me doing these, I have some already pre-cut labels and tickets that I've had for, again, for months. I have a box of Tim. If I want to use those, but I think those are going to be a little bit too big. I also should have more random Timmy things, you know, that come in the little bag. Should I want to use those? And here is my box of just stuff. This is, I did the challenge by Louisa Heinzel, the how to jazz up your scraps, where you put them in a box and you do all sorts of splattering and stuff. And I need to make a note that I ensure that I write her. Why is it I never have a piece of paper I can write on right next to me? Anyway, okay, we're using this. So I know who to put in the description box. Heinzel. Okay. So, now, I don't do random. Y'all know this. I don't do random. But, oh, I also, don't forget, I die cut. I have the Tim Holtz ticket die cut thing, along with these. So, I can do those. But I don't want to take all day. I also want you to take a quick second to show you what the lovely Ellen Schlegel sent me the other day. I think I got it on Friday as Happy Mail. So this is it, and I'm so thankful and so touched. So she made these cute little envelope clusters. I mean, I don't even know how she could fold them that small. I don't think I could do it. So here's this and that, and she sewed around it. And this little trifold tag, which is so cute. Little pull. Excuse me while I have a hot flash. Just go about your lives. I'll be okay. I'm just gonna, you know, sit here and die, but that's okay. I know you ladies know what I'm talking about. Oof. Oh, that's mine. So we'll put this over here, and we have these little lovelies. Little old adverts, and another one. Isn't that just, I would never have thought of this, and that is so cool, Ellen. I really like that. And this looks like it's out of a dime store novel. I like how it says, what does a girl do when she falls in love with a type of man she's always despised? Oh no. Will you think about what I've said, he asked. She couldn't meet his look. Yeah. I love the drama of it all. Okay, there comes a breeze. If your stout freestyle book. Oh, Lane Bryant. Wow. Lane Bryant was already back then. It doesn't even, I would love to know what the date is, but obviously that is like the early 60s, late 50s. Yes, I did not, wow, Lane Bryant was back then. And it's size 38 to 60. Now, everything was smaller back then. Heck, I graduated in 88, and clothes are, a size 12 back then is not what a size 12 is now. So, these are old photo negatives, and I asked her about them, and they were ones her mom took. I can't remember off the top of my head what events they were of, but she said that her sisters, her siblings weren't in, I think she said sisters, weren't in many of them. So, anyway, isn't that cute? Oh, thank you, Ellen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You totally made my day. All right, so let's get started, shall we? And I'm not good at random. I'm not. We all know this. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't do random well. But I am just going to start sticking. I got my blue book. And I don't care. I am not going to think. Oops. Missed one, Ellen. Missed one. Don't want to miss one. Don't want to lose one. There. So you may or may not be seeing those negatives in some of my work. And like I said, I'm not thinking, oh my gosh, don't think, just stick, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Don't think, just stick. Don't think, just stick. It's hard. Oh my God. It's so hard to not think. Just don't think. Just don't think. Just don't think. Just don't think. And I don't even know that I'm going to take the time to ink. I'm just going to randomly just go down the line. I'm going to assembly line it. This is how I work best, is assembly line. Just don't think, just stick. Grab and stick. Grab and stick. Okay, I didn't like that one. Why don't we just do book page for right now? That'll make me happy. See, I'm thinking already. I'm thinking. Oh, but I like this one. Oh, but I like that one. So this is an exercise in, I don't know what it's an exercise in, but y'all are along the ride with me, on this ride with me of just don't think, stick. I'm just trying to find a book page. That's all I'm trying to do. Don't think, stick. Don't think, stick. And I don't even care if I get it glued on well, because I plan on stitching this down the middle. After I do all my book pages, then I can go and do something else on top of it, because I'm not thinking, I'm just sticking. Now, I have watched several creators, Julie at Camellia Crafts Designs, Mitzi, and I'm sure there are others that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head, that talk to you about saving your glue pages and what you can do with them. Minutes, I would really like to know how many pages you stick together, because generally what I do, glue it all up, rip it off, turn it over, it sticks to the bottom one, and then I get like 3 thick, and then they go in the burn barrel. But it looked like when you were doing your pockets, they were 1 at a time. And I would really like to know how you do it, if there's a right way, or again, if I'm overthinking. I'm probably overthinking, because, you know, if you're happy and you know it, overthink. That's how I rule my life. And I did not make up that song. I cannot take credit for that. But it actually is very apt for me and others. Those of us who like to be up in our heads. Just finding ones that I might like a little bit better, so they're not all the same. But apparently in this box I have a lot of the same color. It's probably because the only book I had at the beginning was this Prisoners of the Sand when I started this. And I can't remember who I was watching. I think it was Roxy last night. I was binging on Roxy. Roxy Creations. And she was saying she doesn't like glue stick because of she doesn't like it on her hands. And I do not blame her one little bitty bit. That's not glue book. Our book paper. Again, don't think, just stick. Don't think, just stick. So how is everyone? And how are you all? How is everyone? How are you all? Like I said, I'm doing okay. It's, you know, oh, now Beauregard says it's 92. Now the weather app never says the same thing. But my weather app is not here at my property, so I go with what my weather app says. There's more. And now you're privy to how my brain works. And I heard once somebody said that is a rarity that people do the word association with, like music, movies, quotes, that kind of thing. But most people I know, that's what they do. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. And I'm sure there is a formula for this. I've heard when you're doing clusters that you like do 3 things in a focal point, or maybe 2 things in a focal point. I don't know. I do not know, because, you know, like I said, random. There is no random. There's no such thing as random. And apparently I have to be quiet when I do this because I have to think and constantly tell myself, don't think. I know. It's exhausting. The struggle is definitely real. Tomorrow is supposed to be a really nice cool down. So they say. Well, I don't live in the big city. So, you know how news stations go, local news go, they tell you the weather in the big city. So they say, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be 88 degrees in SeaTac. Well, I don't live in Seattle and SeaTac. It's up in Burien. I live south. And it tends to be, more often than not, a few degrees warmer down here than it is up there, which kind of amazes me, you know, concrete jungle and all that stuff, but nevertheless. And it's not like we're that much further south, or is it farther south? Farther. But still, I did not look at the time, so we will go. Say, I've been doing this for, I don't know, I could look if I wanted to. So this should be fun for y'all to watch. Watch Laura on the struggle bus. Watch Laura try to not be all up in her head. Up in my head, up in my head. And the nice thing about this is I don't have to do them all the same way. No, 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 no. It's like I can put, you know, yes, I'm going to do the book page all the way down, but I can switch it up and do tickets. And I can do mulberry page on some of them. And I can just, I don't have to do the exact same thing for everything as I do the exact same thing for all of it. So, you know, hey, learn from me. That's all I ask, is learn from me. Learn not what not to do, and hopefully what to do, and, you know, all that good stuff. Some more of this To Catch a Thief. This To Catch a Thief came from a 1956 Reader's Digest. You know how it condensed book. I remember when Reader's Digest actually was Reader's Digest, and now it's just a bunch of ads with like 3 stories in it. But I grew up reading it. And anyway, and it's from 1956, and I have not figured out, because I keep forgetting to research it, if this To Catch a Thief is actually the movie To Catch a Thief, and what came first, I don't know. But I never did watch To Catch a Thief that I can remember, which is kind of odd, because, well, I like classic movies. I have a new subscriber whose name escapes me. I'm so sorry. She really liked my making jelly print stamp thingies out of cardboard and glue stick, or hot glue. But if you're watching, hun, what is that an actress that is your icon, your thumbnail? Because it reminds me of one of them, and I just can't bring forth her name. If not, she's beautiful. It's just like, not Greer Garson. A dark-haired beauty. That's all I can say. And, you know, not my absolute, one of my absolute favorite old-timey actresses, I guess people call them nowadays. Classic movie actresses. And when I say classic movie, I'm talking pre-1963. Was Maureen O'Hara. Oh, I love Maureen O'Hara. So beautiful and so classy in everything, you know, that I've ever seen her in. And just stately, gorgeous, just the whole package. She, you know, it sounds like she fell on some hard times at the end of her life, which was really sad, that she deserved better than she was given towards the end. Or, you know, we say that. We don't know their private life. But elder abuse is real, even by family. I've actually experienced it in my own, which just makes me sad. It was one of my favorite aunts. All right, there we go. We're done with that. Let me clear off. Godsend. Definitely worth the, what, $7 investment, if that. There. Get that all off into the garbage. So, I believe I asked this in my last video, which will go up on Tuesday. This one right now, obviously, you'll be watching on Wednesday. How was everyone's weekend? Did you do anything special? Spend time with mom? Spend time alone? Kick the kids out of the house? Have a good time doing whatever? I had a pretty good weekend. Yeah, you know. Yeah, it was good. I cannot complain too much, because you know what? Any day that you have fresh water, a roof over your head, and food in your belly, it's a good day, I would assume. Alright, so now that I've done that, don't think, just paste. But see, I'm already thinking. So, who would like to put a little bit of this? Not thinking is, overthinking is, for some reason, very difficult, as I've said. And I'm going to pull out some Tracy labels. These are all sorts of sizes. Obviously, some have been printed on the other sides of some. Hey, look, I just found one, and I'm going to stick it. Let's see, so, who have I been watching? Well, I found a new lady, thanks to Jamie, Sparkbird. I do not know if I ever heard her first name. I'm sure she says it at the beginning of her video, but I have a pretty good memory. I mean, I'm pretty good with memory and dates and, you know, useless trivia like that. But when it comes to somebody's name, it's just, unless it's very unique, or I can equate it to someone I know, then it's just, or I'm around you all the time, it's just not going to stick. It's embarrassing that I just can't. I have a dear friend who we work together, and she's, do you remember so-and-so from, and I'm like, no. She always says by name. And I'll be like, what ward did they work on? What did they look like? What shift did they work? And so she will, you know, try to fill in the blanks for me, but just a name rarely works for me. It just does not. Now it's time to change the paper. Time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. So, get some of these out. I'm trying not to make it too difficult, but I'm also trying to give myself some choices here. So, let's put in a knit one ticket. Now these are all paperweights, different paperweights, because when I first started this, again, I guess the first people I watched and learned from used heavier papers. I mean, like, get it out of my nice little handy dandy holder. Oh shoot. Those don't have little things poked out of them, and I just don't feel like poking up things, so. So they are heavier cardstock. But hey, I had that stamp. We learned about that in the last video, Tuesday's video, the one where I was trying to prep all of this for ill or for aught. Let's see. I remember when open. One of the Far Side, no, I always loved the Far Side cartoons, was on my mother's birthday, and it said Midville, School for the Gifted, and it said pull, and the kid was trying to push, or vice versa. And I thought it was funny because it was my mother's birthday, and she did not find that funny at all. I thought it was. See, I keep getting my mat off. Hopefully I'm in front. I really need to figure out how to stick this down, but not permanently. Doesn't matter. But I definitely don't want to go in the same way. That I don't want. I'm trying not to be matchy-matchy. Trying. You know? I can only do what I can do, though, people. I can only do what I can do. I gotta be me. And it doesn't matter, again, how well they're stuck down. Just that they're stuck. And as I say, you don't have to do the same thing. I pretty much am on each one. This is just the packing paper. And a lot of times, you'll see when I jelly print, I do it, put the jelly plate on top of these, and then I can just use the, oops, sorry, too late, but look away. Probably too late, but look away. Which side do I like better? That side. I think I'm doing fairly well with not thinking and just sticking. I mean, I'm not thinking to the degree that I can't think, that I won't think, I should say. You know, because don't ask for a miracle. You ain't never gonna get it. That one's upside down, so that one can go like that. Top Secret. Ooh, remember that movie with Val Kilmer back in the early days? Yes, that was a naughty movie. At least some parts were. Anybody remember the cow? That wasn't a cow. I know. It was random and luckily, since that's all I said, then I can't get in trouble. But oh, that one in Real Genius. And since I was highly influenced by movies, it just was something that I identified with, or whatever you call it, whatever you say, from an early age. Identified, I never say that. Sorry, brain power and all that. This was where I used the Distress ink inkers, refillers, or whatever. The vintage photo walnut stain and antique linen. looking for something a little darker. Ooh, map page is always good. This is actually kind of fun. I think once I really start getting my mind turned off, I can do it. Ooh, and we'll use some vellum. Don't want necessarily that on there. Again, I hope, for those of you just joining us, I hope the fans aren't too loud. Ooh, hot flash going. Hot flash, hot flash, hot flash. Somewhere in here, I thought I had, no. I printed these Tracy labels in different sizes. And I was looking for my Japanese ones. But I guess I did not print them in this size and get them here. That's okay. That's okay. So, Sparkbird, just found her last night, and oh my gosh, y'all gotta go see her tintype video she did. And it's not a, it wasn't, she didn't do very far past it, you know, in the history. It was just, I think, a couple weeks ago maybe. Very, very interesting. Cannot wait to give that a try. I just do need to get the, come back, I'm looking for you. She has these clear labels, printable labels. Unfortunately, you know, it's like $24 for 50. I think it was. It might have even been 25, and it was just like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. That just doesn't work for me right now, so I wish. Anyway, what I like about it is it's, you know, I've said before I started this, I was doing home decor. Specifically Dollar Tree home decor. And so, you know, I can do all sorts of things with all sorts of things. And to see someone else take soda cans and make paper crafting with it, embellishments, that just jazzed me. I was jazzed over that. So I will link her below. Let me write that down too, which I bet I wrote it on this, and then yes I did. Didn't I? Okay, no I didn't. Oh, sorry. Love a Pete. Not on that one. Oh, I wrote it on the envelope. Where did it go? There it is. Where did it go? Where did it go? Pen, pen, pen. Paper, paper, paper. Pencil, pencil, pencil. Sparkbird. The other one I watched of hers last night was, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Cereal box repurposing. That was not the name of it, but it's close to. So, again, this was napkin and tea bags. I will show. Maybe I'll do that video tomorrow, or tomorrow's video. It was really interesting. I learned it from Natasa at Treasure Books. I learned a lot from her. Let's put her down on the list. If it's not Natasa, I will let you know. Again, check the description box. I try to remember to put everybody I've referenced on there, especially if they have a channel. And it's like I'm getting glue everywhere because, well, who cares, right? Your eyes only. James Bond. And again, I'm trying not to, if words are upside down, don't put the words upside down on top of it. Excuse me again. I am sorry. Ah. My lunch is talking back. Mitzi was just talking about that in her video. This morning's video. Which she really does pre-record. I'm trying to get there. All I can manage is 2 or 3 days at a time. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, it'll come. Ooh, I like the gold. I don't want that. I need to get my other little box out here that has even tinier scraps. Because I had one. How about we do it that way? Show a little bit of the book page. There's another tiny one. Just get that bit. Itty bitty bitty bit. It's a nice filled milk stamp. Don't think, don't think, don't think. So, what are you guys planning for the week? I gotta take a drink. Wet the whistle. I really need to go get an x-ray of my knee, so I need to make that a priority for tomorrow. But again, leaving the house. Here's a nice round one. So, find out what's going on with it, and if I need to go have, yay, yet another MRI. Because I like MRIs. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but this MRI place that I went to, and I hadn't been there for years, and I'm sure I've had one at TG before, I just haven't been there for years, and they've revamped a lot of it. You can even watch movies in that thing. Yes, you can. Now, I have had MRIs where there's no music except for the MRI machine. They give you earplugs and that's about it. And, you know, after the first couple ones, it's no longer startling. In fact, I was telling her, even though I was listening to music and had earplugs in, I could still hear what sounds a lot like lasers, ray guns, and all that stuff from the 1950s movies. But, put that one right there. She said you can even bring in your own DVD as long as it's clean. You know, you can bring in your own DVD and watch movies. I'm like, who would have thunk that? Where was that all these years? But there was one part of it where, I'm telling you, it was like a woodpecker on crack. Just going, and I'm like, it's going, I'm gonna get you, suckers. And it just cracked me up. It was funny. Of course, it was, you know, oh, dark 30 in the morning. Okay, it wasn't oh, dark 30 because it's late spring, so it was pretty light. But the principle is the same. I got there at 6:30. Yes, I did. So there was no one there but me. In fact, I got there before the receptionist did. I was able to get into the room, but I mean, we're talking like not even 30 seconds, I don't think, before she showed up. It was funny. Yeah, of course. They told me to get there that early. And so then I get there that early. And I get out of the MRI a couple hours later. It's 9 a.m. by the time I'm dressed. I get out to get dressed. And anyway. And then I get to have there's the email saying that I have an appointment and be there at 7. Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. You told me, you specifically and expressly told me on the phone, be here at 6:30. You know, I really did get up at oh dark 30 that morning. You know, I beat the birds. And that's saying something. Not to mention, boy, that drive-in, I am glad do not commute north in the morning, because that sun, wow, it was blinding me. And so, you know, I'm 5'2" on a tall day. And so I'm in the car and I'm all but standing up as I'm driving. You know, I have it on cruise control. And so I'm like sitting as tall as I can, you know, only though using the heel of my left foot to have the sun visor actually work for me, because the sun was blinding. And then I finally remembered, oh wait, you have those blackout sunglasses for, you know, when your eyes are dilated, the big, you know, original TV show, the V miniseries glasses on, and it helped a little bit, but not when that sun glare was in your eyes. So I'm watching the news this morning, and they're talking about, you know, yeah, it's slowing down through the Nisqually Valley because, you know, that sun glare. And I'm like I'm talking back to the TV. It wasn't even the TV, I was streaming it on my laptop. I was like, yeah, I'm telling you, it is a killer in that. Okay, so now I've done this, trying not to think too hard, but I need to have a topper, and I don't have any fussy cut birds. That almost sounds like the wrong word. So I'm trying to think, but not think at the same time. Yes, all right, mulberry page. Oops, sorry. Here we go, around the mulberry bush. And I got that, and I've got these, don't forget, and these. This. So, wow. This is some tough stuff. I might have to get out the actually cut this, and I'm trying not to let it blow away in the wind. Blowing in the wind. Now maybe I did this in the wrong order. I do not know. There are no rules, right? Everybody says there are no rules. Okay. All right. But you know what? Sure as shooting, somebody's going to say something. No, there are no rules. But, here, we'll do it this way. But you could have, you should have, and I'm making a conscious effort to eradicate should out of my vocab, because I tend to, am I in frame? Say that a lot. Well, I should do this, or I should do that. Well, and oh, wow. Unless it is something that, you know, you really should do, as in you should take out the garbage because the garbage man is going to be out here in a half an hour. That kind of thing. Notwithstanding, it should be a given, but, you know, you always have to preface it because somebody's going to say something. Really, I am, for all intents and purposes, retired. Oops. So, you know, telling myself, and for me, it usually revolves around a time thing, because I have this weird time thing. I'm like that white rabbit in my most hated kids cartoon out there, Alice in Wonderland, only because I hate the Cheshire Cat, scares me to death. I'm late. It's not as loud, believe it or not. To those of you who know me, have known me for years, it's not as bad as it used to be. It is not. But I cannot be late. I just can't. I have been late, and it does happen because, you know, well, things happen. But yeah, I just, ugh. So in my head, in the back of my head, it's just like this clock is running down. That little white rabbit. I'm late, I'm late. And I don't even remember why I started that. But, oh, the should. So, okay, you know, for example, it's X time. You should go to bed. Oh, I missed one. Oh, well. And it's like, why? And I'll ask myself, why? Why should you? It's this time. You should eat something again. Why? And again, you know, it depends on what the situation is. Sometimes you should do things. But for the most part, in my life, what should I do? Tomorrow, I really should and need to go have an x-ray on my knee. But if I'm not tired or don't want to, I don't need to should go upstairs and out of my crevice. So wish me luck on that one. I don't know how well that's going to go over with me. But it's a work in progress and I'm trying. I feel like I see glue strings going by. Try and use different sizes on different ones. Ew, if I do this, I'm going to have to restring my sewing machine. Green machine. Is that does anyone remember back in the mid-70s? It was a kid's toy. Well, there was a football player. I think his name was Mean Joe Green. I think that was his name. But there was a toy, and it was like an inchworm, and it was green, and you'd sit on it, and you'd kind of go like this, and it would move you along. I just remember really wanting one of those. Or I had one of those. I don't think I had one of those. I did have a big orange, I think it was, plastic tricycle thing. I think, I'm trying hard to remember. I can see it in my head, but I don't remember the name of it. Yeah, it had one big wheel in the front and two fat wheels on the back, and it had a brake. And the commercials was the kid was pedaling along really fast, and then he'd slam that thing and spin around. I had one of those. I think we got it at a garage sale because I remember vividly the front tire had a big dent in it. So I'd be pedaling along, stunk, stunk, stunk. It never worked like they showed it in the ad, but I had one. It was fun. And then my sister had, and this one was orange. And it was this, I think it was an egg shape, and you sat in it, and you could push it down the hill, and it went like this. So it must not have been egg shaped, because that would not be fun. My sister loved it. She was big enough for it, and I didn't like it because, well, I kept falling out of it. But then I never really liked going upside down like that very much. Even at the fair in rides, I think they were called the squirrel cages, where it would do that. And the problem with that is I was tiny enough that whenever you could turn them, the whole ride would turn, and each squirrel cage could go like this. And I think it was going like this as it went around. But my sister loved it. Oh, she loved that kind of stuff. And every time she went upside down, I would fall out. And I'm landing on the ceiling. And yeah, that was not fun for me at all. At all. So she had to endure an entire ride with me screaming my head off. Because, well, the bars wouldn't even touch my legs. Which is why I don't like wooden roller coasters. Because I don't like being thrown around like that. What can I say? Older siblings, you know how they can be. I think they delight in torturing the youngers. I really do. If anyone was the younger sibling, shout it out. Or if you're an older sibling and say, no, you're all wet, I don't know what you're talking about, shout that out too. I will eye you with askance and secretly going, sure. Keon, aren't you an older sister? Are you the eldest in your family? If so, did you enjoy torturing your younger sisters or siblings? I can't remember. I know you have one, but other than that, I do not remember. Whew. Warm again, warm again. What else is going on? My snippet roll was kinking. I kind of like this mulberry paper. I don't know what I was expecting because I've never seen it before, but this was not it. I don't know what I was expecting, but this wasn't it. I'm probably off screen. I apologize. So, trying to think. Think of what to talk about and not think about what I'm doing and just glue and stick. Glue and stick. So what I do need to find is a focal point of some such thing. But I do not know. There was something I was going to do, and darned if it didn't just escape my head. I think I'll just grab some glue. Or duh. I've got glue. No, I don't know what I was saying. See, I'm thinking so hard. I could have done that. Not that I should have. I could have, and I probably still could. So here is our long one. And I have been going at least 40 minutes. 53 minutes. So this is going to be a multi-part because it's really, really long. So here this is so far, the story so far. These take a lot longer than I thought they were. I thought I was trucking along too. So, okay, I'm going to call this one, again, a video. This is going to be like the trials and tribulations of Laura trying to do a random snippet roll. Oh my gosh, it's like, crawling in the desert searching for water. Okay, so, again, if you've liked watching me struggle through this, kind of, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Share with your friends. Look at the crazy lady who's trying to do this random snippet roll and obviously doesn't know what she's doing. Please. And drop a comment, even if it is a thumbs up. That is appreciated, gets my channel noticed. To all of my new subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. To the OG, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I say this and I have 107 subscribers. Yay! That's so exciting, so exciting. Only 883 to go. Yay. So until tomorrow, which I will be much further along hopefully, I wish you peace. Bye.